through to play the Romo Fijo on Friday night, November the 10th. You'll be sitting on these for a minute, but it's very much something to look forward to. RocketMortgageFieldhouse.com. We'll have the details for you. Andy Fletcher's gone, but it's Dave Gahan, it's Martin Gore, and who knows who else will show up, right? 2 for Depeche Mode. Good luck. Come and get it. Caller 10, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The Alan Cox Show.
Podcast anytime on our iHeartRadio app.
Ooh, what's a podcast?
Like a TV show, but without the pictures.
Baby, that's called radio. What you're describing is radio.
And live on the radio weekday afternoons.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Metallica keeps dropping new stuff before that album comes out. Darkness Had a Son is another song that they've been kind of breadcrumbing us with. The new album is called 72 Seasons. It's not out until April the 14th, so they're really getting out in front of it. We are sending more people to see Metallica in Detroit, by the way. They're not coming here. The M72 World Tour is 2 nights in every city they play and no repeats. So they do a different set each night and they have a different opening act each night. And so they're playing Ford Field in Detroit on November 10th and 12th. They're doing Fridays and Sundays on this tour. And we have tickets for you if you go to WMMS.com. You would win a pair of tickets for each night. So you'd have to make it a thing, right? You'd have to you're staying over Friday night, hanging out in Detroit Saturday. Don't believe the hype. It's a fun town. And then you're going to see the second night of Metallica on Sunday, November 12th. They're playing the 50-yard line in the round. And I think the opening acts for the Detroit stop are Pantera and Avenged Sevenfold, I think. Because they're taking different bands out on different stops. Like some of them, they have Greta Van Fleet. God bless them. For whatever reason, Metallica loves Greta Van Fleet. So they're doing some of the dates. But I think Detroit is Avenged Sevenfold and Pantera. Anywho, go to WMMS.com and you can try to get those Metallica World Tour tickets. How's it going out there?
Oh, it's full blown party now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, these are old radio people. We were doing blow in the bathroom.
Oh, hey! All right, man.
For old time's sake.
I give you some spins and overnight.
I know it's Coke, but that's a lot of work to go do Coke. Walk all the way down the hallway, turn the corner.
I had to pee too, so fine.
That's a lot.
For people who want to do Coke, there's no amount of work that's too much. Yeah. Walking down a hallway is hardly anything.
But I feel like if everyone knows they're doing Coke, you just say, I'm going to do Coke. You want to bump, man? And
everybody doesn't know. That's why they walk
That's
down.
the whole thing.
I do Coke so I can work longer, so I can earn more, so I can do more Coke. I do Coke so I can work longer, so I can earn more, so I can do more Coke.
I remember seeing some school teacher friends of mine cut a bunch up on the tank of a toilet in a nightclub. I was like, this is not for me. I'm just standing there with my back against the wall because I thought something else maybe was going to happen.
Such a nerd.
Well, I went in with them because I thought something else was going to happen. I was like, all right.
You thought you were going to...
This is a long time ago.
You thought you were going to get some
or they were going to start...
Well, they go, come to the bathroom with us. I go, yes, indeed. And that's not what it was.
You were the bag holder. They were like, watch this.
No, I didn't touch anything. Oh. They kind of gathered around the toilet tank and kind of looked at me, and then I knew what was going on. I mean, she pulled out her debit card or whatever, and they were like, want some? I go, nope, I'm good, thank you. Coke is not my thing.
But you've never tried, so how do you know?
Because I don't like things with my nose.
You can do it other ways.
No. Well, you can, but nobody does that.
But you like to do things that nobody else does.
Well,
so
not that.
I mean, come on.
The fastest delivery system is up the nose, but I'm not doing that. No, it was multiple opportunities. We all have, but I'm like, no. I mean, I did just about everything else, but I'm like, that ain't no. But again, that image is it's kind of burned in my brain because there was this notion for a long time that you needed to have a lot of money or to do coke. I'm like, nope, there's school teachers doing it because it's so cheap. And of course, these days, you don't know what the hell you're getting. You know, back then, I wasn't worried about one of these school teachers flopping over from fentanyl or whatever, you know. But, yeah, it's pretty wild. iHeartRadio app. If you listen there, you can leave us messages. Little talkback button there.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Podcast listener. Y'all were talking about slang and over the age of 45, and that's how you know it's starting to get old. That's not true. Actually, slang, we know it's turning lame when white people start using it. So when Aunt Maggie is talking about, oh my God, I went to the craft fair and it was so lit, that's when it's starting to turn lame. So not so much age. Black people just cooler. Sorry, hate the show.
Well, we can only go by when we hear it. So there's phases of it. There's when black people use it, and then when white youths use it, and then that's when I start to hear it. When my kids are saying things, I go, I don't understand what's going on here.
I love when my mom...
Yeah, but youth culture is black culture. Those are the same thing. Kids love hip-hop. They love, there aren't kids really driving down the street anymore blaring heavy metal out of their cars. So black culture is youth culture. So to his point, and nothing he said there was untrue, to his point, yeah, when Aunt Sally is used lit, I mean, that's, but it's also fun. I mean, it's fun for people. We were talking yesterday about people who are over 45 in the workplace find themselves using Gen Z slang, not as a means of showing off, but as trying to find some commonality there. And so it's like the over 45s, but slang is such a weird thing that by the time that group is using it, if they're like, oh, that lunch we went to hits different, it sounds silly.
Yeah, it gets to the cringe aspect.
So,
I think it's funny when my mom uses, she listens to the rap music. I don't know what got my mom. She didn't used to listen to that type of music. I think she's been around my brother so much. She loves what is it, mumble rap and trap music. And she was listening to a song. It said, "Your price is way too high. You need to cut it." And my mom was singing it. I'm like, Mom, do you know what that means? She's like, yeah, the prices are too high, and my bills do be too high. They need to cut them bills. I'm like, Mom, that's not what he means. He's talking about the drugs cost too much. And she's like, oh. And she
but whatever it means to her, I mean, that's,
But it was so innocent. I'm like, yeah, he's not talking about light bills. Your light bill way too high. You need to cut it. He's talking about cutting up drugs.
By the way, there's also nothing wrong with people who are older who want to stay kind of apprised of what's going on, right, with people younger than them. I think that's a valuable thing in not looking down your nose at kids and things like that. Like if you might not be using the same phrases, but if you're at least aware of kind of what's going on. Like I like grime rap. I'm not a rap guy, but I really like grime rap. So if I'm listening to something like that, like British, like Stormzy and Dizzy Rascal and those guys, they usually have really thick, Cockney accents. It's probably a quarter century old, right? So I'm not really a rap or a hip hop guy. I'm a drummer, so I like anything with percussion or a beat or something like that. But the stuff you're talking about, it just doesn't hit my ear right. But grime rappers, I could listen to it all day long. I love it.
OT Genesis, I think the song's called Cut It. Featuring Young Dolph.
Young Dolph.
So I just imagine my mom in her little neon blue car, your price is way too high. You need to cut it. I'm gonna get her a speaker system for Christmas.
OT Genesis. There it
Genesis.
is.
Cut it.
Wow. All right.
Price is way too high. You need to cut it. And it's so funny.
Listen, your mom's a grown woman in the United States,
a grown
though.
Black woman.
I was gonna say she had to realize at some point he wasn't talking about his phone bill. I mean, your price is way too high. You better cut it. She had no idea he was talking about drugs?
She thought he was talking about, the struggle. We out here in the streets. My lights got cut off. You need to cut your bill. My mom's innocent. She's very naive about certain things.
Well, that's sweet.
She don't drive highways. You think she's in there talking about trapping and putting it. She's like, oh, he introduced her to her stove. He must be so nice. Like, do you know why he introduced her to his stove, Mom?
You know, young Dolph's dead.
I do.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He
got shot.
He did. Born in Chicago, moved to Memphis, and his parents were both crackheads, and he died. So he never got to be old Dolph.
Yeah.
He's 36. He was fatally shot in Makita's homemade butter cookies.
Like Stan Makita's?
No. Makeda. Makeda?
Okay.
Fatally shot while visiting Makita's homemade butter cookies, which was a bakery that he liked to visit. And this wasn't accidental.
Cookies and you get shot.
Yes.
Oof.
2 dudes drove by and killed him.
Haters, man. Haters.
You can't even let this young man, I mean, he's 36, but you can't even let this young man visit a
Some butter
bakery.
cookies, yeah.
Get some butter cookies. Man.
That's harsh.
The trial isn't even going to happen until next year. Still looking into
Cookie crimes.
It literally was.
Yeah.
Man. God, somebody else hit me up about a cookie crime, and I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
Looks like somebody's luck just came up. Shortbread. Cookie crime!
No, I got to build up to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baked goods. Behavior bad. Cookie crimes.
Yeah.
Can't get your fill of justice? Have Samoa. Cookie crimes. Looks like somebody's luck just came up. Shortbread. Cookie crimes.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, poor young Dolph. Man. He was such a young dolphin. And they're such smart animals.
Kind of rapey, though.
You know why he was young Dolph? Because his first name was Adolf. Boy, you don't meet a lot of dudes named Adolf, and you sure as hell don't meet a lot of black dudes named Adolf.
Right.
Adolf Robert Thornton Jr. He and Juice WRLD, another dead Chicago rapper, they were cousins.
Why are all these rappers just shot?
No, Juice WRLD, this poor son of a bitch, was getting off a plane, and the cops were there, and he swallowed all the pills he had on
Oh,
him.
I do remember that.
And they were like, dude, just turn him over like you're a well-known guy. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, but they didn't arrest him, so who really won? He outsmarted those cops.
This is one of these things where they're like, well, there's a rapper landing, and he's probably got guns and drugs on the plane, so they pull up, and they're gonna, and, he had weed and stuff, but he just downed a bunch of pills, and
That's the problem with flying is you can't throw it out the window. Take a bus, chuck it out the window.
I feel like you should. Oh, I guess you can't get on the plane with something that will grind up the drugs. I was thinking, like, why didn't he carry something that would just like mush everything up?
Flush it down the airplane toilet. Shoot out over somebody else's house. Then it lands in their yard, and they're fine. Actually, you want to hear me crash Poundcake's plane?
Yes.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to C-29F. We've got one person on the plane today. It's his private plane. He's a lottery-winning douchebag who nobody wants to talk to.
Just have him fly the plane.
I'd like to say goodbye to my wife and my children. I'm gonna send this Oh, so happy to take him out. I'd do that every single day if I could.
Damn.
I mean, no offense. You know what I'm saying? Every single day.
I do not.
Oh.
That was such a maniacal laugh. Like, if I go down in flames, I want to go down laughing like that. Like, I'm dying. This is it.
I mean, what else are you going to do? It's like the Alanis Morissette song, Ironic. A guy waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice?
Didn't sound nice at all.
No, it doesn't sound nice, nor does it actually sound ironic. But I take her point. She's doing good work over there on the Great North.
It's Canadian ironic. It's different.
Saved my entire
Ironic, eh? What?
that would be me saving my entire life to go on a private jet just to somewhere just to say that I could take all the pictures, to sit on a private jet and get served, and then it crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I would love to get sucked up.
Into an engine. Oh, Cody got sucked up into an engine.
Oh, you just made a mess.
That's terrible. Boy, more and more people who work at airports, I don't know if they're hiring people and these people are poorly trained, but every other day there's an article about somebody getting sucked into an airplane engine. Like
they're
Indiana
trying to knock
Jones.
the trains out of the news.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's a specific.
The airlines are
wow.
like, oh man, the trains are getting all this press. We need to figure out a way to get people paying attention to flights again. Let's suck some employees into the engine.
I don't know if it's as simple as people aren't paying attention or what it is, but there was another story about a month or so ago about this girl who was working the ground crew at some small airport in Alabama, and she got sucked. People were still on the plane. Somebody talked about, oh God, and I forget what the euphemism they use for it is too. It was a catastrophic machine, they call it something. They don't go, she got sucked into the engine, but that's exactly what it is. Like she's putting the wheel blocks on or something and wasn't paying attention. I don't know. You know, some of these other people, depending on if it's a small plane, they like stand up into the propeller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I would be so gingerly walking around an airplane, you know, even if I had been on the job for a decade. A buddy of mine, my friend who lives in L.A. now, his dad, he's long since retired, but his dad was an air traffic controller for like 35 years at O'Hare. And he's like, we've seen some stories and heard some stories and seen some things that go down there on the tarmac. And, you know, over the course of his career, there have been a number of fatal mistakes that have been made. But holy cow.
So
then somebody's got to hose out that engine, and you got to get you've got to, I don't even know.
How quickly does the flight go
according to
on after that?
This article that I'm looking at, like she was warned multiple times that she was getting too close. Like this was like something that she was just cutting corners, I guess. She wanted to take a quicker route, and she would get way too close to the engine.
It's not like it's just spinning there. It's sucking air in. Like if you get too close, you're not heavy enough. You'll get pulled completely into that thing. And there's still people on the plane. They're like, oh, yeah, witnesses said they looked over and saw red all over the...
I'd pass out, I think. But how quick...
Well, it would take a second. You probably might not realize what happened immediately until you start hearing people screaming or who knows what. That's no way to go, boy.
They hose off, and then they're like, all right, like flight.
Dad, stop to Maui this way.
Say, like, is that plane out of commission?
Yes, it's out of commission.
Man, I'm like, so I'm going to miss my flight? Someone going to give me a refund.
If you are on a connecting flight to Juneau, we have to
This flight connected all right. It definitely made contact.
They're like dumb airlines. They're always screwing things up. No. A lady got sucked into the engine. That's why the plane's being temporarily decommissioned. So you got off light with me just crashing your plane.
Yeah, it sounds like she was just really impatient and got into what they call the ingestion zone.
That's what it was. She was ingested into the engine.
Yeah.
Ingested.
Cost her life.
Yummy.
I pray to
the Lord. Ingestion, don't you think?
You pray to the Lord what?
I pray to the Lord that I'm never that lazy.
Sucking it dry.
Well, you never get a job that hard, so.
I would love to get sucked up.
Okay. Well, you're probably.
I hope you're never that lazy either.
I hope I'm never that lazy.
Yeah.
Especially if I got multiple warnings.
Fortunately, we don't work around airplane engines.
Well,
We'll all be spat out of showbiz at some point.
I would say, what's the most dangerous job around here? In this building?
I mean, mine. Let's be real. The most dangerous job in this building?
You guys are on the street, so I guess that is.
There's a construction crew put up a high-rise right next door. I mean, that's pretty dangerous if you're not paying attention. You're not going to get ingested into an airplane engine, but you could fall from 11 stories up.
I'm meaning
with what happens in these bathrooms, I feel like we're all in danger.
There's an airborne toxic event for the second time today.
Possibly slipping on the stairs, going up to the parking deck.
Yeah, well, it is wet in that stairwell. I got a break here. If you want to send a text